Last time on Total Party Guild.
I'm going to look to the party and just say, I suggest you do the same.
Jewel has a full grimace, like when you had just offered her a handful of worms to eat.
Ew.
My boots, my vest, my hair.
The adventurer's life.
It's like he offered you gum disease. Welcome, adventurers, to Total Party Guild, your weekly retrowave 5th edition D&D live play podcast. I am Sean, and I will be your DM on this adventurous day. And today I am joined by
Vanessa Otero playing Jewel Von Onyx, human bard.
Talon Rowe playing Marin, drow monk.
Jeremy Blackheart playing Graham O'Rye, a half-elf hexadin.
and Justin Lamb playing Stenel Bjornsson, the halfling barbarian.
Last time, our heroes began a parley with Captain Agricool, the Steel Fangs clan. The captain let the party know that she did not agree with Commander Yarick, and she wished to gain the party's help in overthrowing the commander. The party agreed and was led back into the fortified hobgoblin-controlled village. That evening, the party had enacted their plan, sneaking into the night, covered in ash, and made their way into the command house, where they recovered their gear and prepared to fight off the hobgoblin invasion. As the party stands huddled inside the house, what do you wish to do?
It seems like they're fighting over whether what Agricool is saying to do versus what the commander is saying to do.
Maybe. It just looked like they were bustling around the fire over there.
Well, he said that there was a water bucket line already formed, so...
Oh, so I guess they're still working
Right.
together somewhat.
I want to stand behind where the door swings open, and I want to tell everybody to hide. And I'm going to quickly explain my idea is to break something, have them investigate, close the door behind him, and just gank him.
The old lure and skewer. Got it.
How do you guys feel about that?
That's fine.
How, if we make a noise, how are we going to not draw all of them in here?
Well,
I
if more
mean,
than like 7 come in, we'll just slam the door shut and bar it. Can we lock it from in here?
I could try to just message the commander, but he doesn't speak common. They speak goblin.
So
Never
the
mind.
commander speaks common and goblin, but she didn't want to speak that in front of the rest of her hobgoblin troops. So that's why she switched to draconic and other things. So the commander does speak common and did carry on a regular conversation with you guys. Is that what you guys are going to do? You guys are going to hide out?
Wait for him to come back into the office or make a ruckus to get him to draw him in. Sounds like.
Yeah.
I can make a ruckus.
All right, so everyone go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Normally or with advantage?
There's a lot of
Or-
noise going around outside, so go ahead and roll advantage.
Yes.
No, that's not very good.
14.
16.
Dirty 20.
Also 14.
So 2 14s, a dirty 20, and a 16. All right, you guys quickly begin to hide yourselves. So there isn't too much inside this little farmhouse. I'm not imagining you can like fit inside a cabinet or anything. It's more of just like crouching down low and hiding behind like the doorway, so that way when they do come inside, they won't see you immediately. Is that kind of what you're thinking along the same lines?
Yeah, I wanted to get behind the door so when I see that one walk through, I can slam it and get in between him and the closed door.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's where you are, and then everyone else is kind of like just within easy range.
Are you just letting one in? That's no fun.
I mean, this will probably get chaotic knowing us. And is there like a vase nearby?
Sure, there's like a small stand right by the door, and there's a vase with some flowers. The flowers look like they've long since expired. They're all brown and wilty.
Jewel, break that.
I make eye contact with him and just silently knock it off of the shelf that it's on.
So like a cat, just
Yep.
push it off the thing, and it falls down and it shatters.
And I duck back down.
So it shatters inside the house, and you can't see it or hear it, but yeah, you can still hear there's a lot of like motion going on outside. There's a lot of people running around towards the fire and away from the fire and so forth. So how long are you going to wait behind the door?
Is there something else I can knock over nearby?
From here, no. There'd be pots and pans inside the kitchen area you guys would have wandered through, but
Ooh.
I
I'll do the
wave my
pants.
wand of pyrotechnics at him, at Graham, and shrug.
And I shrug and nod.
Oh shit.
It's loud. It's going to be up to 300 feet away. Can hear it. So that'll be the whole town.
yeah, that's going to make some noise. You going to fire that off?
Live on
I
the
look at
edge.
Graham again.
Live on the edge.
I'm like holding
I
a
point
pot
it
next to another pot, and I'm just watching you.
I am super apprehensive of firing it off inside of a building, and I gesture to everybody to plug their ears, and then I like tuck one into my shoulder and plug the other one, and then fire it off into a corner that nobody's standing in, or the fireplace if available.
So this like red and blue streak comes zipping out of the wand, and it goes over in the corner, and then you hear the sound bang, and it's followed by a handful of like smaller pops, and like over in the corner, but it's loud inside this enclosed area, and you can see like everyone, even with their hands clasped over their ears, like their eyes squint tight, they jump a little bit as the noise just reverberates inside the house here, and then from outside you hear "Woda, shibir carriage." Couple seconds go by.
I go into a rage just from the noise. I'm so pissed.
Don't waste your rages.
Okay, so the rage will last 6 seconds, and then it'll die if you don't hurt yourself or attack something.
Well, then I'll save it.
So I mean,
It
if
was
you want to
just-
do that, you're just over there, just like
It's just flavor.
"Arr!" and then
It's just flavor.
A philosophical rage,
oh, okay,
if you
all
will.
right, all right, I got you.
A ponderous rage.
So, as you are hanging out by the door, it gets kicked in, and go ahead and roll me an initiative check.
14.
17.
21.
19.
Wow. We're on fire.
Jewel, what's your dexterity modifier?
Oh, let me look. 1.
Nice.
It's not 0.
Is that sarcasm?
Jewel, what's your wisdom modifier?
Oh my gosh.
-1.
All right.
That's also not 0.
It's not 0.
My attempts at making you feel better are getting worse and worse.
I like to consider that that's the reason Jewel is kind of bad at reading a room.
Yeah, the negative. Yeah, that'll do it for sure.
I like to think that low whiz, high charisma, and low charisma, high whiz are basically the same thing.
All right, so Stenel and Graham, both of you guys get to go before the hobgoblin, who is beginning to kick open the door. So the door has been kicked open by the hobgoblin when the combat starts. So Graham, you are hiding behind it. The door like flies open and smacks against your armor and kind of like bounces off a little bit. But you can hear that the hobgoblin is starting to enter the room. What do you wish to do?
So I have a question first.
Sure.
One of my items is an alchemy jug, and I thought about this after we made this plan. So,
All right.
Getting it out of the bag and then using it, can I do all of that in turn?
How much is it in your bag? Like normally
mean, it
drawing an
weighs
item and
12
stuff like that
pounds.
is a part of the movement action. Sure, fine. If that's what you're doing, you're gonna draw it out and use it at the same time. Fine.
Yeah. So I'm going to dump a quart of oil in front of the doorway.
As your action.
Yeah.
Okay. So the door has smacked open and is smacked against your armor and kind of reverberate a little bit. So the door is between you and the open archway. So I'm imagining you like reaching in your backpack, pulling out the alchemy jug. If you dump it, it's going to like more hit the floor by your feet and then like flow underneath the door.
I'm fine with this.
Okay. That sounds fine with that. That'll work. I just want to make sure that I'm painting the same picture that I'm seeing. So
Yeah.
So you pull out the alchemy jug and then you pop it open. And what word do you use to activate that?
The only dwarven word I know, which is gluttony.
Gluttony
in dwarven.
All right. So you say gluttony in Dwarven, which we'll have to figure out. And it starts like pouring out oil onto the floor around your feet. And it starts leaking underneath the floor in a very rapid fashion. And it starts filling the whole entryway of the doorway. That would be your like partial move and an action. Are you going to just stay put for the rest of your move?
Yeah, I'm just going to hide there.
All right. And you're not going to use a bonus or nothing like that?
No.
Okay,
Good.
Cool. So that's the end of Graham's turn. Stenel, you were technically up first, but I didn't know if you were going to do anything before Graham did. So, Stenel, what do you wish to do?
I'm going to remain hidden because I don't want to blow the ambush.
All right, fantastic.
I am hiding action. Hide. Wind.
You're hiding action. All right. So the hobgoblin is going to go ahead and move into the house. And he's going to move 5 feet and step all over the oil. And then he's going to roll a dex save.
Do we have a map for inside this house?
We don't, because I expected you guys to run outside. That's silly me. Alrighty, so he fails the dex save.
Nelson.
You see the hobgoblin walk into the room, and then his feet go slipping, and he goes, and then he smacks like flat on his back right in front of the door, and you could hear the sound of all of the air rushing out of his lungs as he hits on the ground. He goes, and from the doorway, you see the second hobgoblin begin to step in. And then he stops, and he's going to spend his action crouching down to like help up the other hobgoblin from the ground. So that's what they're doing.
What is that, Keystone Cops moment?
Yeah.
They're all just covered in oil, like slipping in place.
Marin, it is your turn.
Shit. I'm kind of at a loss for what to do. I mean, they're such easy targets, but I want more targets in here.
That's okay, because I lied. Jewel, it's actually your turn first.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so is there enough space for me to cast Fairy Fire without hitting any of my compatriots? One question. Second question is, either of the two hobgoblins that we see look like he's decorated higher and in a way that indicates he might be the leader of this camp?
No, they both look like standard hobgoblins, and also no, if you were to shoot fairy fire here, Graham is hiding behind the door, but he's like right next to them space-wise. So you'd blanket that whole area with fairy fire.
Okay. And it's probably too much to ask that a house here would be have a room that's more than 20 feet wide so we could all get out of its range.
Correct. Yeah, these are small village houses.
I'm just going to sit here, I guess. I'm going to hold my action. I'm going to ready my action.
Okay, so Jewel's going to remain hidden, and now it's Marin's turn.
Oh, I might as well remain hidden. I'm not going to attack them if anybody else isn't going to.
I feel like the plan was to make a noise, get somebody to come in here, slam the door, and kill whoever came in.
Yeah,
right?
We're still executing that plan. We're doing great.
Yeah.
I don't know what
We're
the
just doing
oil's
it
about, but we're doing great.
6-second increments.
Outside of the village, you hear some like even angrier yelling going on, and one of the hobgoblins turns his head back. He's like, "But I was free." And he looks back at you guys, and that is the end of the round. So that's one round down. Back to Stenel.
God damn it.
I will continue to hide. I haven't heard the door slam.
Wait. Oh.
Graham.
I'm just talking to myself.
So I'm on oil. They're holding each other. And I'm going to attempt something real dumb.
Oh, no.
And let's see if this works. So can I see one of the hobgoblin's legs on the other side of the door?
Yeah. So like past the open door, you will see like just the end of the boot of the hobgoblin. So you can see that he's definitely lying on his ass.
Okay. I don't know if this will work. My idea is to lunge, slip on the oil, grab his boot to like fling him ahead of me and use the wall as leverage, and then kick the door shut.
All right. So you're going to grab his boot and slide him forwards while kicking the door shut at the same time.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
is what I'm going to try and do.
Oh, right, shit, that's badass.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Okay. Oh, thank Jesus.
This is very cinematic.
22.
That is a really good roll. So you grab a hold of his leg and you forcibly haul him. And while you're doing that, and you got all this like strength behind you, you realize that the oil on the floor has made him a lot slicker than he would have normally been. He just slides across the room. He slides through the small doorway. He slides into the kitchen, ending like right past Jewel. And on his back is sliding right next to Stenel and Marin inside the kitchen. And at the same time, you haul back and you slam the door shut. And you feel it smack into the face of the other hobgoblin, who then gets forcibly ejected from the house.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me a d6.
D6?
Yep, 1d6.
2.
All right. That hobgoblin took 2 bashing damage to the face.
Strength modifier.
As this hobgoblin
What was that
as
question?
this hobgoblin comes like sliding past me, I'm just like wide-eyed looking at it, and then I look up at Graham wide-eyed, seeing how like fucking awesome that move was, and like shrug at him like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
That was amazing. As the oiled up hobgoblin slides right up next to me, I'm like, oh, dinner time.
I'm assuming, Stenel, you used a ready action on your turn. Do you want to go ahead and burn your reaction to stab the dude?
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
I just flung that guy into a blender.
Oh yeah, he's in trouble.
Wait, can I?
You get advantage. He's on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that second roll was shittier. But I still only get the one attack, right? That's next level. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm assuming 18 hits. Is 18 good?
18 does hit.
Hey! Then I'm going to end this guy's career. Oh, that's not a great roll. 6 damage. With my long sword as I just flip it up, point down, and just...
All right, you drive your blade plunging into the hobgoblin, and as you do that, it kind of like slams into him, and he's completely unprepared for what's going on. So you can see it like severely injure him as he's on the floor. Now he's like gripping onto your sword, and you just kind of like yank it out, and the blade slides along his fingers. He looks pretty hurt. He's still breathing, but man, is he hurting.
I blow him a kiss.
Jewel, you're up.
Okay. Since he's on the ground, I'm gonna run up to him and also stab him with my rapier, which I recovered from the box of goodies.
All right, go ahead and roll it. And again, it's at advantage. He's within melee range.
Oh heck yeah!
And on his back.
This thing with the 2 dice. I rolled a natural 20 and a 19.
Wow.
So-
Yeah, he was gonna get hit regardless.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
You're on fire.
So that's 2d8 piercing. Which
Isn't
is, I
everyone
rolled
prone
an 8 and a
auto-
6, so that's 14 plus 1 for 15.
Holy shit. Isn't it an auto crit if they're on the ground?
No,
Or am I
think it's
mistaken?
if they're
They're
unconscious or
helpless.
something.
Oh. That's fair.
He's covered in oil.
Yeah, he's covered. He's not helpless. So, but that's all right. That is enough to do him in. So your blade plunges into his throat and comes away, and he's just like, and then dies on the floor right there. Graham, did you want to move anywhere in your turn? I'm sorry, I kind of
No, I was just
ask.
assuming that whole maneuver just took my whole thing.
Okay, cool. That works by me. So that hobgoblin is toast. And the next hobgoblin, who's lying on his butt outside, spends half his movement to stand up, and then he kicks open the door as well. And he can see from where he's standing that there is the hobgoblin lying on the floor with like this long streak of oil, but he can't see the rest of you guys. So he's going to go ahead and walk inside.
This is some Home Alone shit.
This is an amazing...
Yeah.
This is why he's
Where's
a
the
guard
paint?
and not a captain.
Where's the paint can?
All right. He rolled extremely low for his perception check, so he did not notice Graham or Jewel. Makes it right over his buddy, and that's the end of his movement. So, and that's the end of his turn. So, Marin.
Oh boy.
Finally, I get to spear somebody. Okay, so I'm going to use my spear on him, and try to get him unawares. So let me see.
You have advantage. You guys all rolled really well on your stealth check. You rolled higher than their average perception. I gave him a dice roll as he was approaching you because it would like he's walking right next to you guys. But I rolled like a 5 altogether, so he didn't see any of you guys in the darkness. He was just so focused on his downed comrade who is slid into the room, and he's like, "What the hell is going on?" So you do surprise him. You do have advantage on the attack.
Okay, so that is 21.
Oh, it's a hit?
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, that is. I'm sorry. Okay. I need to find my D8. Here we go. Okay. Oh, nice. 12 points of damage.
Oh, guildies are on fire tonight.
All right, so he's hurt, but he's still standing.
but I still get an extra shot at him with the butt of my spear. So
Yep.
I'm going to do that.
Go ahead.
Do I get advantage on that too?
You do, yes.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I've got advantage. That's a 19.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
6.
So yeah, stab him, and he's like, ugh! And then you pull the blade out and you whack him with your spear, and then you just kind of like level it down on him. He's still standing, although he is hurt, and you see like blood pouring down, and he's holding onto his gut. But this hob is still standing.
I'm gonna just let it be. I'm not gonna spend any key right now.
Okay.
Best to
And then
save.
that's when you hear some yelling from outside. That is the end of that round. So back to the top, Stenel.
I am going to fly out from my hiding space in a rage. Actually, no, I don't have to fly out from anywhere. He's right there, but I'm going to rage. And I'm going to take a big old chunk out of this guy. Let's see. That's pretty decent. 17.
That hits.
Excellent. All according to plan. I can't roll above a 3, though. So with rage, that is going to be 8 damage.
That ends his life. How do you do it?
Oh, I just flourish it up above my head, and I just swipe it. Actually, I could probably reach his neck from here. It's a long sword, right? I
Yeah, sure.
Jump up and it goes right across the neck, and he just bleeds out.
Yeah. Okay. So you do that. You jump up and you whoosh across his neck, and you see like blood begin to pour down his chest, and he's like, blah, and then he falls over dead.
And then I'm going to scurry up to the other side of the door there to post up.
So you move around the open archway from the kitchen into the main room, and as you do that, you can see out of the open doorway there is an extremely large hobgoblin, and he's like stripped to the his chest is bare. It just looks like massive, and he's got this huge sword in his hand. And as you come like running over and like begin to post up on the door, he starts yelling and points towards you.
Which is fair, but I need to clarify how I do it. Because I sling my sword, and what I do is I like creepy crawl. If I'm going to be exposing myself, I just want it to look like something from a Japanese horror film, and I just out on 4 with the badger head down, just so the silhouette looks really disconcerting. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's very disconcerting to everyone in your party.
Everyone in the party roll saves.
I make a mental note to write a song about how creepy that was.
All right, so Graham, you are behind the door again, and you see Stenel chop the neck of the guy off, and then creepy crawl like past you, and there's just like a lot more noise coming from outside the house.
What the fuck? In between the door and the jam, like through the hinges, can I see that the big guy can see us?
Not from that angle, no.
Frick. I'm gonna get my mirror out of the side of my bag and hold it so I can look.
Okay. Kind of like edging it around the door jam there.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll me. I don't know what that would be.
Would that be sleight of hand?
You could conceivably be sleight of hand, yeah.
Or perception?
Well, I want it to be a perception thing, but it's also like tricky because you're trying to angle it through your hands. So I'm just gonna have you roll a perception check.
Okay. 14.
Okay, so with that roll, I'm gonna you can be able to angle it to kind of like you're gonna catch a glimpse because it's not a very large sliver of space that you're looking through, but you can catch the sight of this massive hulking dude. Sure.
Okay. So, and he's facing towards the door.
Correct.
Okay. So, can I still in this turn take that mug of ash and then chuck it like in the doorway?
Like around the edge of the door.
Yeah. Or just even like over the top and out.
Over the top and out.
Yeah. Like over the top of the door and outside.
Yeah, kind of like an alley oop thing with throwing it over the top of the.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to make a
why
big
not?
cloud.
Okay. A big cloud of ash.
Yeah. I'm going to squid him.
You're gonna squid him.
Mhm.
All right. Sure.
The old squid and crit. Got it.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. Using dex or strength? That's a thrown weapon. So.
Yeah, it's a thrown weapon. So
Dex.
15.
I'd still go with strength though.
15.
15. All right. So you're just making a big old cloud of ash. That's your intention is to try and do, correct?
Yes.
All right. So there's there's a cloud of ash on the doorway.
And I'm just going to yell boss in a kind of pathetic way in giant because I had to look it up, but giant and goblin share a base script in dwarven, so I'm hoping it's close enough.
All right.
Oh shit.
So you make a big old cloud of ash and dirt and dust in the doorway, and then you yell boss.
It,
After the badger silhouette skittles across the doorway.
yeah. Okay, I'm done.
All right, Jewel, you see him do that as you're kind of like peeking around the corner real quick, and then you see the doorway fill with like this ash and dust cloud, and now it's your turn to follow up that act with something.
What's the fucking plan?
I think we lost the plans.
No, it's still there.
We're trying to draw him in. Can I see out the door?
And there's a big old cloud of ash in the way.
Cool. But okay, so if that ash wasn't there, would I be able to see like the doorstep area or anything, or am I blocked off?
Yeah, you know, if the ash wasn't there, you'd be able to see him and the doorstep and what's beyond his
Okay.
shoulder and all kinds of
So-
stuff. But yeah, but now there's a big old cloud of ash. It's like covering half the door. You can't see where there's a small puddle of sheen of oil on the floor right by the door.
This is like a bad night in Bantham. I'm going to move back up to a place where I could conceivably duck behind something if he walks in the room, but I can still see the door. It's hard to do because we don't have a map, so I'm not really sure exactly where everything is. I'd like to keep my eye so that I can see if he starts to enter, but then also be hiding if once he enters, kind of like ducking out, but I can see him. If that makes sense.
Okay. The best spot to do that is kind of where you're at right now. I have you right behind like the door into the kitchen, so
Okay.
you're like in the doorway. It doesn't have a door attached to it, but it's like just an open space that leads into the kitchen, and so you're kind of like up against the wall and kind of peeking around the side. That would be the best place for it. There really isn't anything except for the table that Stenel crawled out from under and where Marin's currently hiding under.
Okay, I'm going to ready vicious mockery which is a bonus action and probably a waste of a spell, but whatever.
Okay, you have Vicious Mockery readied. Marin, you see this massive cloud of dust like explode towards the front of the room, and you see Jewel like get a quizzical look across her face and like begins to prep her vocal cords. What do you wish to do?
I'm waiting.
All right, so you're just gonna hold your action too.
Yep.
All right, so from out front you hear some and then it kind of gets a little quieter. Another large hobgoblin comes running into the room. So he's running through the cloud of ash over the oil. So I'll see if he remains standing. He does not remain standing. So he.
This is excellent.
Oh man, I can't roll for nothing tonight. So you guys don't see a massive hobgoblin. What you see is feet just appear out of the cloud of ash, just stick up way in the sky, and you hear. And then the feet slam down onto the concrete like really hard, like he was way up there in the sky when he went running in.
I'm dying. This is amazing.
Yeah, but oh, I didn't.
But we can see his feet?
Yeah, you can see his feet.
Okay, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery then.
Oh,
Okay,
you've
you
got
cast-
so much to mock
You
right now.
cast Vicious Mockery.
I'm going to be like, I didn't think I could see anything dumber and uglier than an ox in heat in the summer. But there you go. And just
All right,
some.
what's he got to roll?
So he has to roll a wisdom saving throw. My DC is 14.
He rolled an 11. So that now what
Cool.
happens?
So now he takes 1d4 psychic damage and has disadvantage on the next attack roll he makes before the end of its next turn. So 1d4, which isn't a lot, but it's something. That's a 2.
Hey.
2 psychic damage.
All right, so he took 2 psychic damage there, and then you hear him go, and another large hobgoblin comes running into the room. So
Oh, man.
he comes bursting into the room. He comes sliding across the blood and oil. He rolled really well, though. So he remains standing, and he comes sliding into the room with his back towards you, Jewel, facing the direction that Stenel came from, with like this big-ass axe, and he sees Marin standing there. So he's going to swing down his axe on top of Marin.
Can I dodge?
Are you going to spend your reaction? No, actually, no, you don't get that opportunity. So, nope, no dodging. Hang on. You see if he hits you. He nat ones it, so no.
You are rolling terrible.
Oh, man.
The dice really tell the story here.
They do. So he lifts his axe and he brings it over his head and comes crashing down. And as he does, you easily just slide sideways and it smashes into the table and you see it like thunk in. And then he's like, "Ugh," but it's stuck into the table and he's like starting to like really haul around. And as he pulls, the whole table's like just like jumping and sliding towards him. And that will be the end of the hobgoblins' turns. So back to the top of the round, Stenel.
Wait, I didn't get a go.
Oh, shoot. I forgot. You have a held action. So, Marin, what would you like to do with your held action?
Just gonna stab him with my spear.
All right, roll it.
I'm laughing.
This is great.
I'm trying not to.
So think about how horrifying this is. You slide into a dark room and there are 4 figures covered in
All
slick,
black.
oily ash.
Yeah.
And all you can see is them laughing with their teeth in the whites of their eyes.
This is awesome.
I got a 19.
All right, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And they just keep
Okay.
killing you.
Let's see. That's not so bad. 10.
Okay, that hurts.
And then I'm going to hit him with the butt of my spear.
All right,
17.
roll it. 17, that hits.
Okay.
We're the monsters. Can we be the monsters? I want to be the monsters.
7.
Okay, so he is hurt, and that second attack smacks across his skull, and you can see blood begin to pouring from a broken fang that you knocked out of his mouth.
Oh. Okay.
He snarls at you in anger. Roar. Okay, so now we kick over to the top of the round. Sentinel, you are up.
Oh, this is too good.
Next to you on the ground is 2 feet sticking out of like this thick cloud that's beginning to settle over the top of him. So now you can see it beginning to like settle over the top of the body. And it's like coating him in ash, and it's like coating the layer of oil in ash as well. And then a little way down the hall is the hobgoblin that has been stabbed by Marin. And
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So ordinarily, if there's a bad guy on the ground, like I'm all over that. But I feel like Jewel already ended this guy's career. That was vicious. So I'm going to just jump towards this guy enough to kind of get my sword into the mix. I'm gonna attack him.
Okay. So you'll have to move like this in order to get to him because of where the doorway and the opening is. So
That's fine.
Yeah, he's just on the other side of the doorway, so you have to do that. But
That's
that
fine.
you'll be able to see out from the door behind you.
Through all the ash cloud?
That is beginning to settle. So now it's like now
You're
instead of
beginning
this
to
big-
settle.
What? No, you're settling.
Nothing.
Instead of a big thick cloud, it's like beginning to thin out, so you can actually see through the archway now.
Okay, then my goal is to I'm gonna move there and attack, but in like a jerky, creepy sort of way. And I'm gonna come up behind him and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna move my arms in really unnecessary patterns and stab the guy. Let's see if I hit him first. Oh, all my theatrics did not pay off.
Oh
That is a 8.
no, that does not hit.
No. So I attack the guy. And then shit, maybe I slipped in the oil bit. And then I get back to where I was back here.
All right.
I understand how it works. I'm in a rage.
No, that's fine. You run in and you bring your sword down at him, and he kind of does like this little whoa, and he like steps sideways, and as he does, like his whoa makes you go whoa, and
yeah.
And so the sword just kind of just little like dance in the air and then skips off of his axe. And then as you begin to step back, he tries to like yank it out of the table and hit you. He rolled a 12.
Lots of luck, smartass. It's a 16.
All right. So he yanks it again. And as he does, the whole table just like jumps again and kind of like slides, and his axe still remains stuck in the table.
He's going to hit you with the table, bro.
So Stenel slides back towards the door, and as you do that, you notice that the opening is the big guy who was there is not there no more.
Gotcha.
And you get back up into position next to the other guy who's lying on the ground. Graham, you are now up.
I want to wait. Let me zoom in here. So Jewel is. Can I move through Jewel to finish that? Try to finish that guy off that Marin hit.
You'd have to move like here. That goes into the doorway, and then you could move here, if that's what you're trying to get to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the door, yeah, she's on the outside edge of the door, so technically you have to move right there to get to it.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
So excuse me, pardon me, with my sword in hand.
Ho, ha, ho, ha, ho, ha.
What is my to hit with this sword? 16.
That hits.
Hey. And I'm using it one-handed this time. It is 8 points of damage. Or sorry, 11.
All right, so
11. I rolled an 8 plus 3.
All right. So your blade sinks in and then it pulls out. And again, he like jerks sideways. He's still standing.
Huh. And then I want to turn and look to see if I can even see boot steps where that guy might have gone.
No, you can't.
There's no like ash that he might have stepped through.
Or oil.
Or, yeah.
The guy who was outside has not stepped inside the house.
Okay.
So he hasn't stepped on the oil or stepped in the ash or anything like that.
Can I see the female commander out there?
Let's see. From your point of view, no, she's outside of the point of view. You could see this house, like you can see the well that's in the center of the village, and you can see like there's like a small house over here, and you can see light from the fire that's going on over this way.
Mm-hmm.
But where the angle is right now, you'd have to get closer to the door, which there's a hobgoblin on his back between you and the doorway to get a better view of the courtyard.
Okay. Sure. Then I will chill.
You just gonna hang tight right there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okie dokie. Jewel, it is now your turn. As you see that he comes up and stabs that guy. There's still a guy lying on the ground who's now completely covered in ash as the rest of the ash cloud, fades away. And the goblin with the axe stuck in the table is looking really hurt. Like he's beginning to like wobble on his feet.
Okay. Which one of these guys did I cast Vicious Mockery on?
The guy on the ground, this one over here.
Okay. I see Graham look at the door, like he's looking, and I know the cloud's gone now, right?
Yeah,
like
it's settled down.
Okay, so I noticed that the big guy isn't there either. Can I see the back door?
From where you are, yes, you can. The back door is in the kitchen. It's right on the edge, right there. So that's where the back door would be.
Okay. Did we close it when we came in?
Yes, you guys did.
And is it still closed? There's no one coming in through the back door?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay. If no one's sneaking up through the kitchen, I'm going to stab the guy in front of me by Graham. Move up to him and stab him. And I will... Are we flanking?
Yeah. From where you are, yeah, you get advantage.
Cool. So I do that. Ooh, that's not as great. +3. 16?
That hits.
Wow. So that is a 7 + 1. 8 total.
All right. So as he's looking at Graham, who just stabbed him, and he's like trying to still yank that axe out of the table, you just kind of like slide your blade in, and he goes, and then you pull your blade out all nice and gentle and slow, and he just kind of crumples to the ground in front of you.
And then I nod at Graham and then gesture to the back door with my head, like you know what's up.
Okay, Marin, it is your go as you see the one who had gotten his axe stuck in the table just crumpled down in front of you, and there's still one in the doorway next to Stenel between Graham and the way out.
I can't reach him, can I?
Yeah, you got lots of movement. You'd have to get over there to hit him.
Well, no, that's fine. But like, if I move here, does that give me stabbing range?
Yeah, you can move there and still stab him. Sure.
Okay.
Is he still on his back?
Yeah, he's still on his back. He hasn't had an action yet, so he can't get up yet. Jesus.
He's prone. Do I get advantage on that?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right. A 16 and a 17.
right, so I only need the highest die, but yeah, the 17 hits him for sure.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So 17. And then is 8.
All right, 8 hurts him, but he's not even like you get up there and you go to stab him, and he kind of like knocks the weapon aside. He's still not even bloodied yet.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bash him in the head with the butt of my spear.
Bash him in the testicles. They're closer.
That made me like fold.
Did you retract a little?
Yeah, you said that, and I was just like,
At a dirty
no.
20.
And a dirty 20 that hits. Go ahead, roll damage.
Ooh.
All right.
Straight in the dirty 20s.
Yep.
Straight in the 2020s.
Oh, there you go.
That would be 7. And then can I spend a key point?
Yeah, if you'd like to spend a key point and try to hit him again, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Give those some
Monk
special
shit.
attention.
Yep. Now, when I spend a key point, do I get the tip of my spear or the butt of my spear?
No, it's considered a martial arts, so we're just your the butt of your spear is more for flavor for what's going on. So you're still just hitting him with your martial art move. So when you're spending your key point, you're hitting him again with the martial art move. So it's just your lowest die damage.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah. 16
Yeah, that hits.
and 7.
All right, so I imagine you stab at him, and he kind of like pushes the spear aside real fast. So you slide it, and you hit him in the gonads, and he's like, "Oh!" And then you just like whap it down on the top of his head and smack him on the top of his head. He goes, "Oh!" And you can see like a bit of blood begin to drip down the top of his forehead there. Are you going to
Dumbass.
move away or stay put?
I'm going to move away.
All right, so you go ahead and move away. And he's going to get a attack against you with his reaction at disadvantage.
Oh, guys, I'm the Legos and Hot Wheels on the floor because I'm using cantrips.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Oh man.
We got them all, folks.
All right, he rolled a 10, so I'm assuming your AC's higher than that.
Yes, it is.
All right, so you just slide out of the way, and he finally gets an action. So he spends his movement to stumble to his feet, like, you know, and he looks over at Stenel, and he's like, meh, and tries to bring his axe down on top of Stenel.
Hey, at disadvantage.
I think it should be, I think it should be at disadvantage.
It would normally be a disadvantage, but he's using his berserker anger to flood through the energy, which makes it just a flat roll.
Yeah, but he's also under vicious mockery.
Yeah, so now it's just a flat roll. Because if he gets advantage for an ability he has, and he has a disadvantage, it cancels out.
Gotcha.
And
It's
Stenel's
okay,
the
he rolled a 7.
tarantula.
So I'm the tarantula. I'm the tarantula.
Yeah.
I'm walking like one. You can't hit me.
Sorry.
Yeah, so you scuttle aside, and it kind of like thunks next to you. And that's his turn. So outside, now that you guys are standing in the doorway and you kind of like glimpse past him, you see that outside there is the Captain Agricool, and she is yelling and pointing, and now there is squads of hobgoblins that are squaring off against each other. Their blades are fighting against each other now. You can clearly hear the clinks and clangs, which you thought was maybe them starting to like work on putting down the fire. They are instead beginning to fight against each other. And as she's pointing out and directing, you see an arrow come zipping past her head, and then an arrow comes shooting into one of the hobgoblins that is fighting for what you assume is on her side, and he kind of like grabs his side and then starts getting stabbed down. But it is chaos out in the field. There's goblins are fighting against goblins. Arrows are zipping back and forth. As the swirling chaos rages outside the house the heroes are in, we pull back from the melee. lift up over the village and look out into the hills rising over Timatone village. In the distance, a pale green light begins to glow. Will the heroes triumph against the hobgoblin threats, or will they be crushed beneath the Steel Fang Clan's boots? Find out next time on Total Party Guild. And remember,
Party
on! Remember to send us your memes and dice pics on Twitter and Instagram at Total Party Guild or hashtag Topagu, that's TOPAGU, and join our Facebook page, facebook.com/Total Party Guild. We have a modest website at TotalPartyGuild.com where we are setting up a wiki, our blog, and info on the cast, interviews with the characters, and details about the continent of Erosa.
Be sure to rate and review us on your podcast platform of choice. It's especially important to get us seen and promoted. If you love it, others might too. A guild of many defeats more monsters.
Party on!